Hi friends, how's it going? It's me, Betty Jean. In today's video, I'm doing another installment of Throwback Thursdays, and this time, I really just wanted to kick it old school. I just wanted to do an eyeshadow look. I just wanted to do a silly little eyeshadow tutorial and post it on the internet. I'm including 2 throwback palettes. I wanted to go with a fall theme today, so I wanted to pair the Nomad Cosmetics Hudson Valley with the Fuji 5 Lakes. The Hudson Valley was their fall launch 2 years ago, and it's so pretty. Definitely one of my favorites. And the Fuji 5 Lakes was last year's fall palette, and it's just so pretty, and I really wanted to pair them together. So we're just gonna kick back, do some makeup, do an old school just tutorial style video. I mean, to be fair, anytime I'm doing my eyeshadow on camera, I'm doing it tutorial style, just because I love talking through my process, and it's just what I always started doing and what I continue to do to this day many years later. But I really wanted this video to just be a focus on like, let's just do an eyeshadow look. Keep it simple. I love old school YouTube. I miss old school YouTube. I've been trying to incorporate a lot of like throwback style videos, get ready with me's, bingos, things like that. And it's been a lot of fun. They may not be the most like highly sought out videos on my channel, but I've been having a lot of fun. And those of you who've been watching these, I know you've been having fun as well. So that just means a lot. And I hope you enjoy this one as well. But let's just get into it. As far as my accessory details, I just have this old choker and then these bat earrings I got when I was visiting Linda in Maryland last year. It was from a random plant shop. I don't know what the seller is. But yeah, without further ado, let's just hop in and get into this throwback. Let's get into this look. I'm so excited. It's been so long since I've just sat down and done literally just a tutorial with something old. Like usually I incorporate it in a full get ready with me or a full use it or lose it, or I'm testing out a bunch of things, or I'm doing a 3 looks video. But I have not done something like this specifically in a while. And I'm excited just to like sit down with some throwback palettes, do a look, call it a day. Actually, I'm not going to call it a day after this. After this, I'm filming my autumn makeup favorites video, so stay tuned for that. I'm very excited. I have my pile of makeup next to me, and I have some good picks in this round. So I want to do like a very fall cut crease today. I'm going to start by priming with my Sigma eyeshadow primer in Ignite. I am just going to blend it out, and we're going to get into it. I'm just feeling something cozy, but still structured with the cut crease. But color-wise, I want cozy tones. I want probably like a brown blended into like red, orange, yellow. I want just very fall tones. Probably just a good champagne across the lid. I think I want the crease and like lower lash line to really be the star of the show. I think I'm also going to add a winged liner to this look. Big lashes, all that jazz. Starting with the Hudson Valley from Nomad Cosmetics, I'm going to take Oktoberfest, this warm brown. I'm going to use this Sigma and Angela Bright teeny tiny little pencil brush. And I'm just going to drag that right in the crease. Just kind of tracing where I want this cut crease to kind of live. Just doing little motions, just lightly carving it out. And I'm going to use all of my other shades to help blend this. So if it looks like a hard line to start, good, that's what I want. At the end of all this, I might add a graphic liner to make this even crispier, but I'm undecided. I might just let it be its thing. We'll get there when we get there. Yeah, kind of something like that. And you know what? I think I'll do my lower lash line at the same time just because they're going to be kind of replicating themselves. So I want this really just on the outer half of that lower lash line, just right up against it. So now dipping into the Nomad Fuji 5 Lakes and taking this dark red shade. I'm going to use this Blend Bunny B3 brush, tap it off so it's not super pigmented. I mean, it's going to be super pigmented, but not a ton of product on it. And I'm basically just going to go right on top of what was just there. I'm using a very, very light hand, like barely putting any pressure just because I don't want this to get overkill. I have other shades that I want to use to blend this out, dipping in just little bits at a time and just lightly dusting this on top of what I already did, just to start building in a little bit of that gradient as I add in the other shades. And I especially, as I get to this outer edge, want it to be a very, very light touch because I want it to just kind of fade off nicely. Oh yeah, that little bit of red in there is already making a good difference. And I'll do the same to that lower lash. Again, keeping it focused on this outer half of the lid. And as I work on the lower lash, I'll start bringing it down more and more. Kind of like with the crease, I'll start bringing it up more and more as I work my way through my other shades and brushes. But yeah, for now, just doing little swirlies down here. It's gonna come together, I'm excited. So now going back to the Hudson Valley, I wanna take Great Pumpkin Patch and use this kind of gingerbready orangey brown to start blending out that red. I'm gonna use the Blend Bunny B4. We're just getting a little bit fluffier as we work our way through these brushes. And again, I'm just gonna do the same thing, kind of going slightly right on top, slightly higher than, again, very light pressure, very little product. I feel like especially with doing a cut crease, patience, using small brushes, taking little bits at a time, and just really taking your time with it is the key to making it work. I feel like a million years ago when I was first ever learning how to do a cut crease, I just did not know what I was doing. I was using really big brushes, lots of product at a time, just hoping for the best, and that's just not the way to go about it. Slow and steady wins the race for sure. This gradient's already coming together so nicely. I'm so excited. And I'm really not worried about what the lid looks like. Like if anything gets sloppy on the lid itself, that's fine because that's gonna get cleaned up anyway before I do the shimmer. I'm only focused on the blend upward currently. And again, I really want to like kind of feather this out as we get to this outer tail. And again, repeating that on that lower lash as well in that outer corner, slowly dragging it down just further and further. Just a nice heavy lower lash outer corner. I just think it's so pretty. Okay, going back into the Fuji palette, I'm going to take Burnished Beach, this like mustardy yellow. I'm going to use this B1 brush from Blend Bunny, just a bit longer, a bit fluffier, but still small. And again, we're just going to keep repeating. Little motions, teeny little movements, light pressure, just really softening this. Oh, that color scheme is so good. It's definitely giving fall cut crease, and I love it. So pretty. That is such a good gradient. I'm loving these palettes together. They're so good. I don't think I've ever paired these palettes together. I was gonna say I'm shocked that I haven't, but I guess I might have. It's been a while. It's been a year since the Fuji came out, and it's been 2 years since the Hudson Valley, so maybe within the last year I paired these together, but I don't think I did. They are so lovely together. Definitely, they're definitely friends. Again, I'm doing that same thing to that lower lash, just doing some swirls with that yellow. I feel like this yellow coming off of that orange is really sealing the deal. This like very mustardy yellow. It's so pretty. And then just to do the last little bit of softening, I want to take Yellow Poplar and just add a little bit of a finishing lightness to it. I'm going to take my Blend Bunny B5. It's definitely the fluffiest, biggest one I'm using so far. And really just focused on the very top portion as I get close to the brow. Just kind of using this to just add a little bit of extra lightness to that very top portion of that gradient. Give everything a little bit more of a blur. Just like a little something. Just to... I keep saying soften, but that's the word I'm going to keep using. It's softening it. And I'll do the same on the very, very, very outer part of this lower lash area, just to get it blurred. All right, for cutting the crease, I'm going to take my NYX Glitter Primer. You can use like concealer or something like that if you really want to like crispy up the base, but I find just using a glitter primer and a flat brush, this one's from Unearthly, it's the 8-9, I feel like the combination of this does what I need it to do. If you're doing like a matte cut crease, I'd probably say just use like concealer or more of like a liquidy eye primer rather than a glitter primer. But since I know I'm using shimmer, that's why I'm going to go this route. So I just really tuck my brush in that crease and start to kind of go back and forth, really following where I want everything to go. For me, in my eye shape, I tend to go just like a smidgen above my natural crease, and I just kind of follow like that natural roundness of my eyeball, and then just kind of like let it fade up into that. But I feel like the glitter primer alone already helps kind of clean things up and prep nicely for the shimmer. So I'm going to take Pampas Grass from the Fuji palette to use as my lid shade. I just want like a sparkly champagne-y color, kind of something little icy champagne-y. I thought it would be pretty. And again, just kind of let the crease do the talking. This is just going to be more of a highlighted accent around it. But again, using that same brush, kind of just following that same shape that I was mimicking with the glitter primer. And just taking my time, just doing little like windshield wiper sort of motions, especially against that crease. You just want to like make sure you're getting really tight in there. And again, I feel like having a flat brush helps. Honestly, I could have even gone with a flatter brush. This is like, it's not bad, but it's a little chunkier. So maybe something even more precise would be your best bet. It's just the first one I grabbed, and I've done this a million times. So really getting it up in there, kind of following that lid. I love. I do think I am going to add the graphic liner though, just because I think it will make it even crispier. But yeah, I'm really liking that. I almost kind of want to use the pale yellow again as my inner corner. I might regret that, and I might top the champagne on top of it, but I don't know, something about that seems kind of appealing. Just like a little something. It's not going to be anything crazy, just more of like a matte inner corner, kind of tying together the little bit of yellow that's going on. Yeah, this isn't really standing out a ton on my skin tone. If you're any darker than me, it probably would, but I feel like that's just not the same. So I'll just make it match on the other side and then top some of the champagne on top of it. So just taking a little bit of that same champagne-y. Actually, with the little bit of baby yellow peeking through, I think that's actually kind of nice. Just give it a little bit more reflect, adding this on top. I do feel like I want some lower lash line shimmer, so I was thinking Foliage Trail from the Hudson Valley would be cute. I'm just gonna use that B3 brush from before. I just wiped it off first. And I'm just lightly dusting that on the front part of my lower lash, and I just want it to fade into those mattes in the outer. I think that was a nice addition there, actually. So for the graphic liner, I was thinking of using this dark rose one from Gavissi. It's like a really, really dark, like reddish brown shade, and I feel like that'll be a good accent to kind of just crisp it up even more. I do like it like this, but I just feel like we could go crispier. I'm just getting it wet. I just grabbed a little bit of setting spray. You can use water. I just don't feel like getting up, and that's what's closest to me right now. And then just kind of swirling it in, getting it nice and wet. You don't want it to be too drippy, but you don't want it to be too dry either. It's kind of a little bit of a learning curve, just figuring out what consistency you like. And I'm going to use this Glisten Cosmetics and Lynn's Makeup Looks brush. It's the number 7. It's just like a really long, skinny brush. Now I'll do this as best as I can on camera, but I need the mirror like literally in front of my face. But basically, I just kind of want to follow that cut crease line as best as I can. I can always clean things up if I mess up a little bit, but let's hope that doesn't happen. I'm trying to do a really skinny little line. So I don't need it to be anything crazy. I just want it to add just a little bit more crispiness to what I have going on. Usually I would just try to like do it in one big swoop, but I don't know. I felt like being a little more careful today just because it is such a dark color. Okay, so something kind of like that. Again, I'm going to get really, really close so I can like super perfect it, but that's not so bad. And I feel like that just added that extra teeny little bit of crispiness, which I like. Let's just keep adding. What if we added some face gems? I was kind of thinking this like orangey shade, and I have some of these like champagne-y ones mixed in as well. I'm just gonna do a few. I feel like gems on a cut crease just looks cute. Totally optional, obviously. Just gonna take like this teeny orange one, just kind of place it like right on there. Maybe this like medium champagne one can go like right above it out here. It's kind of nice. And then maybe I'll just take another medium orange and put it like here in the front, kind of up here by my brow. Really nothing crazy, just like a couple little cuties, you know? Okay, obviously you could just stop here. You could have stopped many steps ago, probably. But I still do want to add a winged liner because I want really big lashes today, and I just feel like that combo is going to be good. So I'm going to take my Rare Beauty liquid liner. This is probably getting a little on its last leg. Again, I'll do the best I can, but I need a mirror literally in front of my eyeballs. But I'm just going to start at the tail and swoop it kind of outward. I don't want it to necessarily touch the cut crease, but I do want it to go into that direction. And then I'll start kind of swooping it across, just kind of bringing it all the way into the inner part of my eye. Skinnier in the front. Okay, kind of like that, getting sort of my rough draft started. I will have to perfect this off camera, but getting just like that rough draft going, smoothing out this liner a little bit more, getting it as crispy as I'm capable. I'll kind of extend into the tail a little bit. All right, I think that's literally as good as I'm capable of doing without like hyper focusing on a mirror. So I'm gonna repeat it, perfect it, all that good stuff. Okay, throw on my Black Moon Aries lashes and also this orange eye pencil from Oden's Eye in my waterline. I felt like it just brought forth any little bit of orange that I incorporated in this look and like beefed it up like crazy. I think this is so pretty. It has such a good glow and gradient to it. I love this. But I need a lip as well. I was kind of leaning toward Whiskey and Honey from Give Me Glow. It's an oldie that's in my collection. I thought this would be pretty because it kind of has that like mustardy to kind of go with the flow up there. And then for lip pencil, this isn't technically an old color, but it is an old formula. It's the Unearthly lip pencil formula that came out last year, but it's one of their new shades Read. But I just felt like it like suited so well. It's kind of like a warm reddish brown, and I feel like we incorporated a lot of that. So that's what I want to do. I want to start with this pencil and blend the mustard lipstick into it. So I'm just going to start by lining and lightly filling in. I'm already happy with this color option. So yeah, I just kind of lined everything, and then I'm using my finger to sort of drag it down and get it blended toward the center. I just typically prefer doing that rather than just leaving a harsh line, but that's just me. So now taking the Whiskey and Honey liquid lipstick, I'm just gonna start with a little bit in the center. Such a good color, such a good color. I love a mustardy lip. And if you're intrigued but scared of it, pair it with a brown lip pencil. It kind of like tones it down even more. But yeah, I'm just gonna kind of melt this in to the pencil. I love this combo. Like, this is fall. I love. Here's how the final look turned out. I think it came out so cute. It's just very fall. I love seeing this gradient of autumnal tones just kind of coursing through my entire face, really. I think it came out so good, and I hope you enjoyed it. I thought this would just be a fun way to do Throwback Thursday this time around. Just like really hone in on just like old school tutorial style with some older palettes. I had a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoyed it too. Thanks again so much for being here and for watching. I had a lot of fun today. This felt just very nostalgic, old school YouTube. It was fun to just pull some palettes out of my collection, sit down, do an eye look. I think it came out so pretty. I just love these tones, these grungy, like orangey, mustardy, yellowy brown shades. That is fall to me. That is peak fall. I love it. I think these tones are so cool. I'm getting really hyped to film my fall favorites video as soon as I finish this video. I have a maple cinnamon latte candle burning behind me. Everything is just pleasant in the world right now, at least like in this small little corner. The world as a whole is in shambles, and that's why we find joy in the little things, like a maple candle. But anyway, thank you so much again for being here. If you made it to the end of this video, leave some fall themed emojis, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps my channel out a lot. And if you're not already, you can follow me over on Instagram and TikTok. I'm BATTYBEAN over there. And you can also subscribe if you want to see more videos. You're also welcome to hop over to my second channel linked in my description box if you want additional content. And also in my description box is a link to my channel memberships. There's a couple different tiers with a couple different perks, and I would love to have you. If you enjoyed this video and want to keep watching, I'll pop a similar one on the screen. Thank you so much for being here, and I will catch you in the next one.